Let's go live. We are live. YouTube Nation and Dog Pound. I'm Unger to the Max. A salute to you. So, it is about 14:42 on Monday, August 30th, 2021. So, we are getting very, very, very close to football season, which means a couple things. Number one, it means I have reset the recording studio wall to be more Browns-like. However, I don't want to share that with you yet. I want to surprise you. Hence why I'm not in my recording studio wall, or recording studio, I should say, for today's video. Instead, I'm in my office where I do have a Browns flag right back there. So, and it means one other thing. It means that I'm going to get back to doing what I did last season during Browns season, which was doing a video collaboration for every game on the Browns schedule. So for week 1, I'm already set. I'm doing a video collaboration with KC Sports Report because I want revenge on the Kansas City Chiefs for what happened to us last year in Arrowhead Stadium. You know it. I know it. A lot Browns fans know it. The Browns got screwed in Kansas City. Now, that's not to say the referees took the game away from us, because we did not take advantage of Patrick Mahomes getting injured and being out of the game. We didn't. So it was mostly our fault. But come on. That was helmet-to-helmet contact, and it's such a stupid rule that if the offensive player loses the ball and it goes into the end zone, it results in a touchback. It's a terrible rule. You know it. I know it. So yes, KC Sports Report, I want revenge on you. So as much as I didn't want to start the season in Kansas City, I'll take it. Now, I get why the NFL did it. The NFL did exactly the same thing last year after the Chiefs came back and beat the Texans in the AFC divisional round. Who did the Chiefs open the season against? Let me think. Oh, that's right. The Houston Texans. And that actually transitions me nicely because for week 2, that's our home opener here in Cleveland. I will be at that game. And I'm going to be working with Sauce Sports, who I worked with last year. And then week 3, we played the Chicago Bears. Hold on, I'm just checking a text message super quick. Give me one sec. Okay. So I reached out to Chicago Audible to see if I can work something out with them to do a video collaboration for week 3 when the Chicago Bears come to town. Week 4 for Minnesota, I have not talked to anyone yet. If you know any Minnesota Vikings fans, bloggers, YouTubers, drop them down in the comments of this video and I will reach out to them. And then let me pull up the Browns schedule here so I know what I'm talking about. Because I do have a tendency to memorize the Browns schedule. I just haven't gotten to that point yet. So, week 1, KC Sports Report. Because we're at Kansas City. Week 2, Sauce Sports, because we're hosting the Houston Texans. Week 3, I'm going to try and get in contact with Chicago Audible, I think their name is, for when the Browns host the Bears. Week 4, we play at the Minnesota Vikings. So again, if you know any Minnesota Vikings YouTubers, Minnesota Viking fans, or Minnesota Viking bloggers, drop their name down in the comment section below or in the live chat, and I will get in contact with them. If you would like, I can also put a link to this video so that you can come backstage and be on this video call with me. Do I think get out of here, Cato. Do I think Johnny Manziel could return? Absolutely not. No, his career's done. The Browns never should have drafted him. Never. Week 5 at Los Angeles. That's the Chargers. I am going to be doing a video collaboration with LA Original, friend of KC Sports Report. Week 6, when we host Arizona, I'm going to try and reach out to, I think his channel name is AZ Sports Fan, if I remember correctly. Let me just look it up super quick. Hey, just JB412, the Max. I will see you in week 8 and week 17, along with Steel Twins. Oh, and JB, in week 8, since you guys are coming here to Cleveland, I'm inviting you and Steel Twins to come on my show. And then in week 17, I'll come on your show. Sound good? Yep, AZ Sports Fan is his name, so I'm going to try and get in contact with him for when we play the Cardinals in week 6. And then when we play Denver in week 7, I've not found anyone yet. So if you know any Broncos fans or YouTubers or just bloggers, drop their name down in the comment section below, and I will get in contact with them. Hey, Steel Twins. Yeah. All right. I'll see you guys in week 8 and week 17. So that's perfect. And then, so week 8, JB412 and Steel Twins, you're coming to my show. You're going to be in dog pound territory, baby. And I know the 3 of you want revenge on us because of what we did to you, not only in week 17 last year, but in the AFC wildcard, the following week. I know that's what you want. I know you want revenge. So I just put the link, the StreamYard link in the chat. So if you want to come on and talk about the Browns schedule and your thoughts on it, or I'm planning on getting into some combat sports discussion on this video. I love it. I love it. You want to sweep. That's funny. See, this is what I hope for. I want Browns Steelers to become a legitimate rivalry again. It feels like it's on the verge of becoming a rivalry. I don't know if it's fully there yet. I want to see the Browns I want to see that this past season wasn't a fluke for the Browns. I want to see that we can keep it going and that we can sustain it. Like, now the Browns have expectations that they can win the division, get back to the AFC divisional round, maybe even get to the AFC championship. Can they live up to those expectations? You know, J.K. Dobbins just got injured in his final preseason game with the Ravens. That could hurt them. Maybe it gives the Browns an opening to win the division. Maybe. Don't get my words twisted. I'm not definitively saying right here, right now, that the Browns are going to win the AFC North. No. All I'm saying is that I think this season-ending injury by J.K. Dobbins gives the Browns an opportunity to win the division. Okay? But Pittsburgh's still going to be in the mix. Baltimore, Pittsburgh's the reigning division champion. But Baltimore has recently won the division. So you can't just count out the Ravens. And the Steelers are the Steelers. They still have Big Ben. You guys replenished your running game with Najee Harris At least on paper you did. We'll have to see how he does in regular season. You have a new offensive coordinator in Matt Canada. And I saw flashes of Big Ben doing well. But again, that was preseason. So I'm not reading too much into it. You guys still have a great defense with guys like TJ Watt, Joe Hayden, Minka Fitzpatrick, just to name a few. So I'm not counting out the Steelers. Most likely, they will get, if they get into the playoffs, it would be as a wild card team, but you just never know. Heck, Baltimore's dealing with injuries because they've had a tumultuous offseason. Think about it. Lamar Jackson, right? He was on the COVID list for a period of time. Their first round draft pick, wide receiver Rashad Bateman out of the University of Minnesota, he had to have groin surgery, so he's going to miss some time. J.K. Dobbins, as I said, tore his ACL, so that's a huge piece of their run game down because Baltimore likes to, from what I've seen of them in the past season, Baltimore likes to use double running back formations and have Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins out on the field at the same time. They don't do it that often, but they will. Kind of like what the Browns do. So anyway, in week 9, we're at Cincinnati, so I'm going to reach out to Jazzy TV, big-time Bengals fan. Week 10, we are at New England. I know a couple Patriots fans, but if you know any Patriots YouTubers or bloggers or fans, drop their name in the comment section below. Week 11, when we play Detroit, I already am in contact with someone. So, yeah, he's just a Lions fan, not a Lions YouTuber. Week 12, Ingraven Vids, Baltimore Ravens fan. I am coming for you because you know that I want revenge on you for that Monday Night Football game from last season. You know that. So I'm coming for you. See, I even have the red Sharpie to prove it. Here's my red Sharpie. See, I'm drawing all over the screen. Yeah. That's how much I want to play you. Week 13, we play nobody because that's our bye week. And then week 14, Ingraven Vids, you and I are going at it again because the Ravens are coming here. But here's my issue. Actually, let me go back to the Steelers for a second. In week 8, we host the Steelers on Halloween. Okay? What time is that game at? 1 o'clock game. What? Okay. But then in week 17, when we play at Pittsburgh, that's a freaking Monday Night Football game. Okay? But it gets worse. Okay? Week 12, we're at Baltimore. That's a Sunday Night Football game. And yet, when we host the Ravens here in Cleveland in week 14, it's a 1 o'clock game. What? How? And get this. Our only primetime home game this season is a Thursday Night Football game against Denver. I'm going to try and keep my tempers in check. I'm going to try. Again, I put the link in for this video in the live chat if you want to come backstage and discuss anything football related or Browns related, whichever. I also am planning on getting into some combat sports discussion, so if you would like to go in that direction, that's fine as well. I'm just trying to get this clip unclipped. I'm funny. I know. I'm going to try and not go off on a tangent about this because I've done it once before. But did the Browns piss someone off in the NFL. Did the Browns piss off like the NFL schedule gods or something? Seriously, did we? Because how the hell is our two primetime road games at Baltimore? Okay, sorry, I'm stumbling over myself. How is it that when we're at Baltimore and at Pittsburgh, those are Sunday night football? That's a Sunday night and a Monday night. But when we host them here in Cleveland, those are 1 o'clock games. You couldn't have at least given us like 4 o'clock games for those 2 games? Seriously? Seriously. Browns Ravens or Browns Steelers could potentially decide who wins the AFC North. And you're telling me that when we host those 2 teams, they're 1 o'clock games? Really? Really? No. This is ridiculous. I hate it. I mean, when you look at the Browns' schedule overall, to me, it does not say, hey, this team made the playoffs last season and did well in the playoffs. Because, again, not only did we beat the Steelers, but we pushed the Kansas City Chiefs right to the limit. But at the same time, we ended up in 3rd place in the AFC North. So we got a 3rd place schedule. But, so I get that. But at the same time, we made the playoffs. But it just doesn't feel like a playoff schedule. So week 15, we host the Raiders. I'm going to reach out to Spotlight Raiders Talk and Samoan Raider, just like I did last season, to do a video collaboration with each of them. Week 16 at Green Bay. I am trying to get in contact with Tom Grossi, the big-time Green Bay Packers YouTuber. Sometimes does video collaborations with Urinating Tree and Scooter Magruder and a couple other YouTubers. I'm trying to get in contact with him for the Browns-Packers game. Hopefully it happens. If not, I'll have to look for other Packers YouTubers or Packers fans I do have a Packers fan in mind. My friend Ethan Krasnow. I could do a video collaboration with him. But I would love to do a video with Tom Grossi if it's possible. Week 17, we're in Pittsburgh. So JB412 and Steel Twins, I'll come on to your show for that game. And then week 18, we host Cincinnati. So Jazzy TV, you'll be coming on to my show to finish this out. So that's the Browns schedule. And that's generally my plan as far as YouTubers and video collaborations. Last season, I didn't get to finish my goal of doing a video collaboration for every game on the Browns schedule because in early December, I had to undergo a medical procedure that prevented me from finishing that goal. However, I am almost full, or I am fully recovered, but I still have braces on, and most likely won't be getting those off until some point in October. But braces aren't going to prevent me from doing video collaborations. So, yeah, Engraven Bids, JB412, Sauce Sports, KC Sports Report, in Jazzy TV, Samoan Raider, LA Original, Spotlight Raiders Talk, Tom Grossi, AZ Cart Sports Report, and everybody, Daquan Young, everybody, I'm coming for you. The Buckner Empire. I'm a huge fan of the channel. Can you post more Browns videos? Yes, I can. My channel is primarily Cleveland Browns based. But I also throw in other types of videos as well, which I hope you have been enjoying the recent episodes of So What's the Catch that I do on Wednesdays with James Masterchi, Brian Fraley, Kramer. His real name is Jeremy Emmons, but he likes to go by Kramer. AJ and the one and only Chirk Berserk. Hopefully you've been enjoying those episodes. And hopefully you've been enjoying the other radio show that I do, Split View. That's with Kramer. Kramer edits both shows that I do, so really appreciate him. I will put a link to his channel in the description of this video. I can also put it in the chat. So go subscribe to his channel. He does really good content. Not sports related like me, but that's okay. But so that's part of what I'm going to be doing, DeBuckner Empire. I think I'm saying your name right. Is it DeBuckner or is it Debunker? Because I've heard it both ways. I will put the link. I just put the link to this StreamYard in the chat again. If you would like to, go ahead and click on that. It will take you backstage, and I will let you join the video so you can talk and express your opinion about the Browns' schedule or something combat sports related. And that's actually where I want to go for just a second. And then I will come back to the Browns. So last night, Jake Paul fought Tyron Woodley at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. Now, I was going back and forth about whether I wanted to go or not. Ultimately, I ended up not going, but the main reason I wanted to go, I thought about going anyway, was not because it was Jake Paul. I get why people don't like Jake Paul. So it had nothing to do with that. I mean, that main event excited me, so it had a small part to do with it. But the bigger reason is because here in Cleveland, we don't get big combat sports events. Sorry, WWE, you don't count. Because we've hosted Monday Night Raw. We've hosted Friday Night SmackDown. Back in 2019, WWE Fastlane, the pay-per-view before WrestleMania, was here in Cleveland. And that was one of the last times that Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns were together. So that was one of the last appearances of The Shield. So we get WWE. But we've only hosted the UFC once. And I was at that event when Stipe Miocic defended his newly minted heavyweight championship for the very first time against Alistair Overeem in the main event of UFC 203. Since then, the Octagon hasn't come back. And so we haven't had any big combat sports events since September 10th, 2016. And so last night we had a big boxing event here in Cleveland with Jake Paul and Tyron Woodley. Jake Paul is apparently from Cleveland, which I actually didn't know. So that would have been my reasoning for wanting to go. Again, I had some interest in Jake Paul against Tyron Woodley, but the problem is I didn't know any of the other boxers, fighters, whatever you call them. I didn't know anyone else on the card. And apparently there was a women's championship fight. It's hard to keep track of who's the champion because there's so many different boxing companies, and the weight classes just get so confusing, which is why I like UFC better. Because in UFC, it's so streamlined. You know who the champion is at each division. The heavyweight champion is Francis Ngannou. Light heavyweight champion, Jan Blachowicz. Middleweight champion, Israel Adesanya. Welterweight champion, Kamaru Usman. Lightweight champion, Charles Oliveira. For now, I think Dustin Poirier is going to take that title from him. featherweight champion, Alexander Volkanovski. Bantamweight champion is Aljamain Sterling. Flyweight champion is Brandon Moreno. Women's featherweight champion is arguably the GOAT, the greatest female, or it would be GOAT, because she is the greatest female fighter of all time, bar none, Amanda Nunes. The women's bantamweight champion, same person, Amanda Nunes. She's holding both belts simultaneously, and she has defended both. It's amazing. The women's flyweight champion is Valentina Shevchenko, and the women's strawweight champion is Rose Namajunas, which actually, I just found out, her first title defense will be at UFC 268, which is headlined by Colby Covington against Kamaru Usman for the welterweight belt in a rematch of UFC 245, which was one of the greatest fights I have ever seen. But Namajunas will defend her strawweight belt against the person she took the title from, which was Zhang Weili. So that'll be amazing. UFC is putting on some great pay-per-views. UFC 266 is going to be amazing. I believe that is headlined by, it will be Alexander Volkanovski against Brian Ortega for the featherweight title. But that's not all. We also have Valentina Shevchenko defending her flyweight title against Lauren Murphy. And then we have Nick Diaz returning to the octagon to face ruthless Robbie Lawler. And then we got Curtis Blades against Jairzinho Rozenstruik in a matchup of the number 4 ranked heavyweight fighter against the number 6 ranked heavyweight fighter. And then we have Jessica Andrade, the number 1 ranked flyweight fighter, or number 1 ranked flyweight contender, I should say, taking on Cynthia Calvillo, who is the number 5 ranked flyweight contender. And then UFC 267 is going to be another great card, because that is Jan Blachowicz defending his light heavyweight title against Glover Teixeira. And then we have Aljamain Sterling defending his bantamweight title against the man he took the title from, Peter Yan. The way Sterling took that title from Yan was as a result of Yan getting disqualified for an illegal knee. So there's going to be some animosity in that fight. We also have Li Jianlian taking on Kazmat Shimaev. I don't know any of the other guys on the card. And then with 268, the pay-per-view I'm most excited about, that is Kamaru Usman against Colby Covington 2 for the welterweight title. Then we have Rose Namajunas against Zhang Weili for the strawweight title. We have Justin Gaethje, the number 2 ranked lightweight contender, taking on Michael Chandler, the number 4 ranked lightweight contender. And then we have, in a middleweight bout, Sean Strickland, the number 8 ranked middleweight contender, taking on former UFC middleweight champion Luke Rockhold. We have Jermaine Durandamy, the number 1 ranked bantamweight contender, taking on Irene Aldana, the number 4 ranked bantamweight contender. Frankie Edgar is the number 8 ranked bantamweight contender, taking on Marlon Vera, the number 13 ranked bantamweight contender. And then Al Iaquinta is taking on Bobby Green. So those are some solid pay-per-view cards by the UFC. I'm not sure which one I'm going to watch. Which one I'm going to actually purchase and watch. The other two that I don't, I'm going to use ESPN Plus and go back and watch them when they become available. if I had to guess which one I'm going to watch, it would probably be 268 because I want to see that Usman-Covington rematch. And that fight is going to be at the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden. So that's pretty cool. 266 will be, where is that fight taking place? 266 will be at T-Mobile Arena in Vegas. And then 267 is going to be, let me double check on this. Yeah, UFC 267 is going to be at Etihad Arena in Yas Island, in Yas, West United Arab Emirates. So I believe that is UFC Fight Island, where they did many of their events during the pandemic, which the pandemic is still unfortunately going on. So I hope everyone who is watching is staying safe and doing healthy and being healthy. I also send my best wishes to everyone affected by the hurricane down in New Orleans. You know, I actually saw that the Saints, as a result of the hurricane, not only did they have their final preseason game against the Arizona Cardinals get canceled, but they're going to have to practice for, I believe it's 3 days in AT&T Stadium, home of America's team, the Dallas Cowboys. Shout out to my guy, JTuck151. I will see you in 2000. Oh, what would that be? We just played you last season. I believe that would be 2025 when your Cowboys come here to Cleveland. Philly 500, I will see you in 2025 over in your building, Lincoln Financial Field, on the Warpath. And, who was the other Washington guy I did a video collaboration with? Let me look this up now. It's going to bother me otherwise. What was his name? Sheesh, I can't remember now. Give me 1 sec. I want to look this up because otherwise I'm going to go nuts. It was on the Warpath and, oh man. And, BG Fan All Day. That's what it was. So on the Warpath and BG Fan All Day, I will see you guys in 2025 over in Landover, Maryland. And Bad Dog Sports, I'm sorry I couldn't do a video collaboration with you for when the Browns played the Giants, but hopefully we'll be able to link up in 2025 when you guys come here. As far as NFC West, NordCam, I'm definitely going to want to work with you again in 2023, I believe it is, when we come to Seattle. AZ Sports Fan, I'm going to want to work with you when your Cardinals come here in 2023. And then I'll have to find a 49ers YouTuber and a Rams YouTuber. But that's not for a couple years. Next year we play the NFC South, so that means I'll have to find a Saints YouTuber, a Buccaneers YouTuber, Panthers YouTuber, and Sports Live in the ATL. You and I are going to work together again because we didn't get to actually do a video collaboration. You called me on the phone, and that's how we did it, which I enjoyed, but I actually want to do a video collaboration with you. That's what I want to do. That's what I love about doing YouTube is I get to meet new people and develop friendships like Gangrene David. You and I, we've done plenty of video collaborations together for when the Browns have played the Jets. And now I would say you're a friend of mine. Like if the Jets ever came to Cleveland, I would invite you to come to Cleveland and go to the game with me. I really would. JB412 and Steel Twins, even though we've only done one video collaboration together, I consider you guys to be friends of mine now. I really do. Jazzy TV, I consider you to be a friend a little bit because we're Facebook friends now. And, when the Bengals beat the Steelers on Monday Night Football, I tagged you in a Facebook post and thanked you. So, it's fun to do this. That's why I love it. You know what else is fun? AEW, All Elite Wrestling. Oh my God, CM Punk is back. Yeah, CM Punk is back. And get this, Daniel Bryan might make his AEW debut this coming Sunday at All Out on September 5th on the pay-per-view. What? And then at Full Gear, Bray Wyatt might make his AEW debut. Are you kidding me? What is this world coming to? Ay, ay, ay. Here's the one thing I'm worried about with AEW, though, is that they're going to get so much talent that they're not going to have some type of storyline or feud for everybody to be in. And oh boy, am I excited for this pay-per-view on Sunday. It is going to be amazing. Now, not every match on the card is getting me out of my seat like, woohoo, well, hey, yay, that type of thing. No, not every match is like that. What? Some matches I'm like, okay, yay? Because I just haven't felt like the storyline has really been there. Like Miro against Eddie Kingston for the TNT Championship, that match is going to be amazing. But I just haven't felt like there's really been a storyline or feud to really lead up to the match. Britt Baker is defending her title against Chris Statlander at the pay-per-view. Same thing. It doesn't feel like there's really been a build or storyline to get to the match. It just kind of feels like it's just there. And then some of the other matches, I'm just like, like there's storyline, but it just doesn't do anything for me. Like Paul White, formerly known as The Big Show, against QT Marshall. It'll be a good match, but the storyline, I'm just scratching my head like, what exactly is the storyline? All I know is that it's something with Tony Schiavone and his son, and it's all a little bit confusing. And then that applies to Pac against Andrade. Andrade has come in and said, like, Penta and Rey Fenix, you guys are never going to win with Pac as your leader or whatever. And Andrade El Idolo has, like, messed with Penta and Phoenix's travel plans. And it's going to be a great match, but the storyline and feud, I'm just like, what? I don't get it. Yeah, I'm just like, I don't get it. What's happening? Kenny Omega against Christian Cage, that storyline buildup has been amazing. And the only drawback to it is that, yeah, AEW has put a seed of doubt in your mind that, oh, maybe Christian Cage is going to win the AEW World Championship from Kenny Omega. He beat him for the Impact World Championship and the TNA World title. But the problem is, we all know Kenny Omega's not going to lose his title. Why? Because Hangman Page is going to come back after, I think he's taking time off because his wife is pregnant and going to have a baby, if I remember correctly. And so we know Hangman is eventually going to come back, and he's going to be the one to take the title off of Kenny, most likely at Full Gear. I know that AEW has these special like TV specials, like Winter is Coming, Fight for the Fallen, Fighter Fest. They did Road Rager. They've done stuff like that, and they did a AEW championship title change when Kenny Omega beat Jon Moxley for the title at Winter is Coming. But I just don't see them doing Hangman Page against Kenny Omega on just a free TV special. I think they have to do that match at Full Gear, the pay-per-view in November. If I remember correctly, Full Gear was created in honor of Hangman Page. So that just seems fitting. And the storyline about Hangman's relationship with the Dark Order has been amazing, because now it's like there appears to be some dissension in the Dark Order. And as an AEW fan, I'm like, oh my God, what's going to happen? Is the Dark Order going to break up? Are they going to be able to stay together? Like, when Hangman Adam Page comes back, are they going to have his back? What's going to happen? It's just been so good. And the Elite is just great. Kenny Omega is hilarious as the champion because he's such a moron. And then, you have the Young Bucks, who are great as heels. Now, I don't think that they are going to lose their titles at All Out. Oh, that's right. They have to defend their titles inside of a steel cage against Penta and Rey Fenix. Now, the reason this match on Sunday is going to be in a steel cage is so that the rest of the Elite, the Good Brothers, Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows, Brandon Cutler, Michael Nakazawa, and potentially Kenny Omega can't interfere, because that's what's allowed the Young Bucks to retain their titles so often. Heck, it's what allowed them to retain their titles against the Jurassic Express, who I think should ultimately win the titles. But we'll see. But here's my issue with AEW. They only have one championship for the women, just the Women's World Championship. Whereas for the men, you have 3 championships: the AEW World Championship, the TNT Championship, and you have the Tag Team Championships. I think AEW should introduce a new Women's Championship, 2 new Women's Championships, a Tag Team Championship, and just a secondary championship. I think it would be great. Because you have more championships, so you can feature more wrestlers, and 2, you can create more storylines and more feuds. Speaking of which, AEW Rampage has been amazing. Pretty much every episode I've watched has been great. Here's what I would like to see happen. I think Miro should move over to Rampage and become the top champion with the TNT Championship. And then maybe you make a secondary championship. And then, you make a women's championship and a tag team championship and all that. And Rampage pretty much becomes its own show where you have fresh new storylines that are separate from Dynamite. And things like that. Yes, I know that's kind of copying WWE, but clearly it works. Well, at least it should. But Monday Night Raw has been so bad lately that Like, Monday Night Raw has pretty much gotten to the point where it's unwatchable. And yet, for some reason, like an idiot, I keep tuning in. And I keep saying on Facebook, oh, I'm not going to watch Monday Night Raw. And then what happens? I end up watching it. What can I say? I'm a wrestling fan. I'm not going to deny it. SmackDown's been better, though. Roman Reigns has been amazing as the Universal Champion. I hate that WWE brought Brock Lesnar back. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Did I say I hated it enough? I don't want Brock Lesnar to become champion. I didn't want him to be back in the WWE. I think he should be done because it feels like when Brock Lesnar is champion, it feels like the whole show or the whole company just slows down because like Brock doesn't show up every week and he doesn't defend his title at every pay-per-view. Granted, not every champion defends their title at every pay-per-view. I get that, but I think Roman Reigns has defended his title at pretty much every pay-per-view since he's won it at Payback. Let me think. He defended it at SummerSlam against John Cena. He defended it at Backlash against Cesaro. He defended it at WrestleMania against Edge and Daniel Bryan. He defended it at Money in the Bank against Edge. So I believe, unless I'm missing a pay-per-view, Roman Reigns has defended it at every pay-per-view. At Survivor Series, Roman didn't have to defend his title, so I'm not counting that. And among other things, the issue I have with WWE is they do a pay-per-view every single month. Like, we just had SummerSlam. Well, guess what? This month, we're going to be doing, I believe it's Extreme Rules. And then next month, it's going to be Crown Jewel. And then after that, it's going to be Survivor Series. And then in December, it'll be TLC. And I'm sure there are other pay-per-views. Obviously, WrestleMania being the most notable one. But that's WrestleMania. What I would like is if WWE didn't have all these pay-per-views. Oh, I forgot. There's Elimination Chamber. There's the Royal Rumble. They might do Fastlane again. It's just ridiculous that there are this many pay-per-views in the WWE. They don't need that many. They really don't. It's ridiculous. I'm just adding the video to my SportsRoom playlist right now, as well as the I've Been Thinking playlist and a couple others. There we go. Video's been added. So anyway, yeah. But also with WWE, they don't come up with any new, fresh, exciting storylines. Like, we had Nikki ASH cash in and win the Raw Women's Championship. What happens? She gets put into a triple threat match with Charlotte Flair, who she pinned to win the title, and Rhea Ripley. And guess what? Charlotte's the champion again. So it's like, what was the point of that? Cash in. Or we have tag teams breaking up, and the reason they break up is, oh, I didn't want to be in this person's shadow anymore. Or this person was always the main person of this team, and I didn't like it. And I'm like, really, WWE? Really? You could have come up with something, a better storyline than that. Really? By the way, how do you like my beard? I think it's finally coming in pretty nicely. So just wanted to throw that out there. And with WWE also, it's like they just use surprise roll-ups or distractions or other non-finishes. Like, I don't know the last time I saw a WWE wrestler use their actual finishing move to win a title or just win a match. I don't know the last time. I really don't. Whereas it seems like in AEW, that's pretty much how every match ends, is with a clean finish. Now, some matches end with shenanigans, but that's because the shenanigans are necessary. Maybe it's to continue a storyline, or it's to create a new storyline, or build a feud and something like that. AEW, they don't just do matches just because. They do matches that, like, as I just said, they extend feuds. They create new feuds. Maybe they tie into a separate storyline somehow. That type of thing. So AEW is just better than WWE. Straight up, it is. I'm sorry, WWE Universe, but it is. Now, I am part of the WWE Universe, so I'm not going to bash WWE too much. But that's going to wrap this up for today's episode of the Sports Room Live. Thank you to everyone who participated in the live chat. And thank you to everyone who watched the video live but didn't necessarily comment. I greatly appreciate you either way. And I will see you next time on another episode of the Sports Room Talk Show. And again, I probably will not be recording in my recording studio until week 1 of the NFL season, when I go up against KC Sports Report and maybe another Kansas City Chiefs YouTuber. We'll see. But I want to keep the look of my recording studio a surprise from you for right now. So, if you liked today's video, punch that like button like a UFC fighter and punch that subscribe button. Until next time, I'm Unger to the Max saying, see you later. A salute to you. Stay safe and stay awesome.